All right, welcome to the first episode of Today with Gray. I guess I'll let you introduce yourself.
I'm Lad. I I don't have a YouTube channel.
Okay. Yeah.
Nah. Well, I do, but
Maybe not plug it.
nah.
Okay.
No need to plug the channel.
Don't need to plug the channel. Some things, I don't know. Like, it's hilarious, your channel, but, like, would I want people to see me? Like,
I mean,
some of the stuff we've
it's
done?
up to you, man. I mean, we can plug it.
No, that's fine. Maybe later.
Yeah,
Later.
near the end.
Yeah.
If you stick around to the end, you'll know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, we're in this bitch now. So, if knives didn't exist,
Is that the first one we're going with? Really?
Why not? Yeah.
Okay. If knives didn't exist, I don't think we'd be very sharp. That's such a
there.
bad pun.
I was thinking, like, when you wake up in the morning, you're making some toast, right? And, like, you can't butter your toast. So you just have, like, the block of butter there, and you're just, like, smearing the toast over the block of butter. You know what I'm saying?
That like violates a lot of health.
Yeah.
A lot of food safe laws.
But how would you, like, some people, like, want to butter their spaghetti and stuff.
Oh,
Like, imagine, like, every strand. And you're just, like,
well,
like
I
a
mean,
violin almost.
When I butter, yeah, when I butter my spaghetti, I just plop the butter on and then like let the fork mix it in. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, there's one way. It depends on how how hot the spaghetti is, but that's just what I do.
Right. If had cold spaghetti, it'd be a bit difficult. You really have to, like, mix it.
Yeah, I think it would be more of a paste rather than a liquid by that point, and that would just be disgusting.
Terminator would be a really bad movie.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot of punching, or you big fighting with forks and spoons.
Yeah. I think. What are some other things that require knives? If you didn't have knives, you probably, I don't know. Is that a real thing where the Japanese use samurai swords to cut their bushes? I just
maybe not all Japanese people, but I'm sure there's a select few.
As like a hedge trimmer.
Maybe.
Well, if that's the case, then I don't know how they trim their bushes.
Just chew
Chew
away at their bushes. Or, like, think about, like, butchers and stuff. Like, they just have to rip apart meat, basically.
Yeah,
They just have, like, really long nails that they, like, slice through the meat or something. I don't know.
Well, that's most butchers, I'm sure, use like the kitchen knives.
Yeah,
and so by that point, it would be more just like them. Can you imagine trying to huck at a piece of meat with your hands?
Just karate chopping meat.
Yeah. I think meat's a different consistency compared to like wood. So like trying to chop the meat with your hand, it would probably just bruise your hand.
Yeah. That's a good point too, like wood and stuff. Like, what if axes didn't exist either? We'd all be like beavers.
I don't know why you're getting the image of putting your mouth around a tree in order to get it to drop.
Well, not like all around the tree, but like little pieces at a time. I doubt anyone can like put their whole mouth around a tree. That'd be kind of...
Yeah, that would be pretty gross.
Yeah.
Do you know what they do with tree bark?
Beavers?
Not beavers, but us. I was driving past these tree mills the other day, and they have these big like landfills of just pulp.
Okay.
It's like the excess tree stuff where it's just like a bunch of like stringy tree outsides, and they just have big piles of it outside these tree mills. And I was like wondering why do they use that stuff for? I never actually ended up Googling it though. It just looked really gross.
Yeah, they probably use it as like a tender maybe, or like some people need, like when people have like their lawns and they want to like not have grass, so they put like wood chips everywhere.
Oh, maybe
That
could
like,
be what it's for.
Maybe, yeah. But I can't see like that being a really profitable business, just selling chunks of, like, I don't see very many of those anymore. That was kind of out of style like a few decades ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. What do we got?
Hot or cold?
Hot or cold?
This applies to a lot of things.
I mean, when I go to bed, I usually want the bed to be hot.
Yeah?
I'd prefer it hot over cold, honestly.
I like to go in hot, but have the bed cold. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I want to, like, warm it up, like, with my body.
Well, I'd hope everybody would.
I'm pretty hot, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, for showers and stuff, especially hot. Always hot, never cold.
Yeah.
Are you the same?
Well, cold showers... apparently cold showers are good for you if you're, like, just waking up. Like, they basically, what's the word? They shock your body. It's kind of like an ice bath that way.
Right.
So, if I'm, like, if I'm trying to get up and I can't get up, then I'll go with a cold shower. But if I just want to relax, then I'll have a hot shower. And usually a relaxing shower's around, like, maybe when you just get home after, like, maybe 7 o'clock or something like that. I don't know, and you're just looking to relax in your house.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've had cold showers. I absolutely hate it. I can't do it. Like, I can't bring myself to do it. And so, like, I'll always have hot showers. Although the water heater here isn't very good. So if, like, 2 people had a shower before me, the water's freezing cold. And I just won't have a shower.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I can't bear it.
Mm-hmm.
And food. Hot or cold food.
I mean, I don't want to burn my mouth, but if it's, like, a little hot... I don't know what to call that.
Well, like, okay, so you got, like, hot soup or cold soup, you know?
Definitely hot soup.
Hot soup?
Hot soup, yeah. Not cold. Cold just kind of tastes mucky.
Right. Most meats taste better, like, hot.
Not unless we're talking about sandwich meat.
Sandwich, like cold. Turkey. Yeah, that's good. Cold.
Like deli meat.
Deli meat, yeah. Cheese is a really weird one. I think cheese goes well with everything and anything, honestly, if you got the right cheese.
I actually have to agree. Unless, like, well, here's one thing that cheese doesn't go good with. It doesn't go good with fruit.
No, it goes well with fruit.
Do you really think so? I mean, like, if
is
we're
an
talking
apple
like
fruit?
Yes, apple is a fruit.
It goes really well with apple.
You think so?
It goes.
I remember once I watched a movie called "Thank You for Smoking," and in it, like, I watched this movie with a marketing class that I was in, and it got to the scene where this one character who is, like, a very big, like, guns advocate.
Okay.
He's eating a pie that has. It's like an apple pie that has a strip of just American cheese on it that's melted. And we were sitting there, and that was probably the highlight of that marketing class for watching that movie, is they were just like, what the heck is that? They couldn't get over this character actually eating it. Whereas, like, I didn't think it looked too bad, if that makes sense. Like, for movie food, it looked pretty appetizing. But I don't think I could never see myself actually eating it.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to cheeses and stuff, I actually did a thing in my physics class. It was really boring at, like, this point in the year in physics class. So I was like, okay, I bet cheese doesn't go well with cereal. So I brought in a bunch of cereal. Like I had cinnamon flakes. I had like the Vector kind with like the Raisin Bran. I had Cheerios and Shreddies. And cheese worked with all of them. Except for Shreddies. Shreddies needed like a different kind of cheese, but it still worked, I guess. And I couldn't think of any other food that didn't work with cheese. And since then I've been trying, but it always works.
Speaking of cereals, I actually got into the tradition of putting juices in cereals when I didn't have milk, because sometimes
like orange juice in your cereal?
Not necessarily orange juice. I have tried apple juice with like Life cereal, and then I tried I think it was a kind of Cheerios. I tried that with cranberry juice, and both of them seemed to work just fine. Like, they didn't taste disgusting.
Did you put the cranberry juice in before the cereal, or the cereal then the cranberry juice?
I put the cereal in first, and then I poured the cranberry juice on it. Do those people actually exist who like put the cereal in last?
I feel like they definitely do.
Somewhere they do. It's like butter side down people.
Yeah, that's the kind of people who put like the drink in their drink first and then like put ice in afterwards. You know? You can't do that.
You can't do
ice
that.
goes in first.
Yeah,
you throw ice in afterwards, it just goes. Yeah,
you just get like little dollops and little boink, like drops coming out of the glass that way. It's like you're physically dropping something into a liquid. It's gonna bounce.
Yeah, I think the only exception to like putting stuff in liquids and stuff is tea. A tea bag can go in before and after, I think. There's no really like...
Well, I mean, usually you're not like just...
You're not like lobbing a piece of... Yeah, you're not lobbing a tea bag in there.
Yeah, you're just setting it in slowly, and then like little dollops, like you're taking your fingers up and down with the string.
Yeah, you're teabagging it.
And teabagging, exactly.
Yeah.
And then like with your tea, you're drinking it slowly anyway, because tea's one of those things that... when hot, if it's way too hot, you're gonna burn the roof of your mouth.
Yeah.
So usually people take their teas very slowly. They're like a little sip here, put it back down.
Maybe, calming, kind of. Yeah.
Maybe like take the string and push it in and out again.
Yeah.
you get where I'm going?
I get what
with
you're
this?
saying. Yeah. Do you get brain freezes actually? Just like going from hot to cold real quick.
It depends on the item. Like if I'm drinking 2 drinks at once, one happening to be hot, like if I have a hot chocolate and a Slurpee, then if I like take I never get brain freezes per se, but like I usually find my back freezes.
Yeah, I know like my mom and stuff, like she doesn't get brain freezes whatsoever, but she does get like an ache in her shoulders, I think it is. It's really like I hear people say like I don't get brain freezes, but I get like some other ache just somewhere else in my body.
Yeah, it's like, oh, your legs freeze.
Yeah, my legs just start to like convulse or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Apparently people think ice cream's really bad for your legs, is what some people actually have told me. They're like, dude, if you eat like if you eat a container of ice cream a day, your legs are gonna tense up. And I'm just like, no, that's not how it works.
Get swole with this one neat trick. Ice cream stands don't want you to know.
Yeah, or they say it's like there's too much fat in ice cream, which that doesn't make any sense.
Like trans fat, maybe, but like
that's not necessarily bad right off the bat. If you use your legs, I'm sure. Like, if you were to sit for maybe like 72 hours straight, I can see maybe somewhere along the line the effects seep into your legs. But
if you're like a hardcore gamer or Stephen Hawking and you're eating ice cream all the time, your legs will be sore.
But I mean, I don't know the science behind it. Maybe they're right.
We should test this. You know, like when like grade 10s, like I need a science project, or grade 9s, like I need a science project for the science fair. I'm like, just sit down for like 80 hours and just eat ice cream and tell me how your legs feel. We'll see.
We'll see. I don't think that's very good advice.
It's not advice, it's a science experiment. The difference between just sitting down and eating ice cream and then doing a science experiment while you sit down and eat ice cream is writing it down. So if as long as they write it down, it's not a complete waste of time.
Oh no.
And they can say like, Mom, I can't go to school today. I'm too busy doing my science experiment. And they just sit there and eat ice cream. That'd be the best experiment. That's like next to like how long can I sleep kind of thing that you see like all the time.
Oh yeah.
As like a prank kind of thing.
No, it reminds me of the time in grade 6 where we were basically forced to do a science experiment.
Yeah.
I did the exact same science experiment that my brother had already done. People in the class started calling me lazy. But no, I still did the project, guys. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that actually. We were forced. What was I forced to do? I was forced to do a science project on the circulatory system, but it wasn't a science project at all. It was just a big billboard that had like a heart on it and like how it worked. Basically, it was so boring. And I didn't get to go around the science experiment because I was too busy having to present my own, and I was really sad.
Yeah, which is why when it got down to it, and oh wait, no, I did. We did a science experiment in grade 5 and one in grade 6. I never did the one in grade 6. When it got down to the actual fair, and they're like, "Okay, how come you don't have anything?" It's because, well, I don't know.
Oh, was it grade 6? That the science experiment was at the college?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. For that one, so I went, my circulatory must have been in like grade 5. Because for the one in grade 6, I wanted to... Oh, it's so stupid looking back on it. Cars driving down the highway, and there's those barrier rails, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone loses control, and they go crash into those rails. That could be bad. That could destroy their car and stuff. So I thought, why not put magnet repulsors on all the rails so that when, so that when a car hits it, it like throws the car back onto the road. What? So I made this like Lego prop where I had a little Lego car and like a wall covered in little dollar store magnets, and the car was covered in magnets as well because it had to like repulse because it wasn't metal. And then I just like threw them at each other basically. Like I drove the car into the wall and watched it like get flung off by the magnets.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
And it actually didn't do too bad. Like it came like I got 3 what's it called? Reviews from like the review people that were there. And that was really good because that means that like they were really considering you. Wow. I just had like little magnets throwing cars around.
Considering a, grade 6 science student.
Yeah. It was really funny to do. Looking back on it, it was a horrible idea, but I loved that so much. And then what was he doing?
Like
yeah,
that's what so. I remember they called him.
The big one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had Jetpack Joyride on his PS4 or PS3 back then. And he was just playing it. Like, what was this experiment? He just played Jetpack Joyride.
Yeah. Wait, I remember this. He brought a TV monitor and he was just playing Jetpack Joyride. Yeah. I was like really confused.
He was just playing.
I think no, didn't he have like a stand that had like his reason for playing Jetpack Joyride? I think he did.
He did. Like it was a full experiment, but I just remember him playing Jetpack Joyride.
Yeah, that's what I remember too.
And then he also had what was it? Assassin's Creed, I think. He was playing Assassin's Creed as well.
Oh, I don't remember that.
I walked over and he was playing it, I think. Because I remember, like, in, like, the simulation scene where it's just white everywhere and he's walking around. I remember that, and then I remember him playing Jetpack Joyride, like, immediately after that. He just continued to play Jetpack Joyride for, like, the entire day.
I don't know. What year was this?
This
is, like, 2012?
Yeah, the year the world was supposed to end.
Yeah.
But that never happened, and then everyone kind of forgot about that.
Thanks, Mayan calendar.
Yeah.
Thanks for
scaring us all, thinking I was going to die in grade 6.
I didn't think I was going to die. I was just kind of afloat.
Oh, yeah. I was kind of like, you know what? If the world collapses, that'd be cool. That'd be a first. I'd see that. That'd be cool. If it didn't, then oh well, like next year.
Yeah, and now people predict that the world's gonna end in like 2030.
Yeah. So I mean, like the Mayans weren't too far off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to predict like that far in the future, I guess. So.
I think it's just hard to predict the world ending as a whole because like humanity can't conceive of the idea if like we just all cease to exist at the same time. Mm-hmm. Like I'm like mankind literally cannot conceive of an idea that big because it's never happened.
Right. And
so they're just like, oh, we're waiting for the one day when we all go to sleep and never wake up. And I just think when that day comes, I probably won't even care, honestly.
No, like, Mayans are probably like, you know what? Either the world's going to end during like the Cold War, before 2012, at 2012 for whatever reason, or after 2012. So we're going to stick it right in the middle. But it really depends on like whether or not Elon Musk is born, basically.
Yeah.
And then he was born, so then, after 2012.
Yeah. I don't know.
But he's like a real life Iron Man, basically.
Kind of.
Like, okay. He makes a payment site. Cool. Now, he's stuck in LA. He hates the traffic. So what's he do? He makes a boring company to bore tunnels under LA. How does he fund it? He funds it with flamethrowers. Then he makes the tunnel. But how does he drive the tunnel? He needs a car. So he has electric vehicles. But that's weak shit. Who wants to drive a car when you can drive a spaceship? So he makes a space company. And then what's better than that? Putting your car that you made in the spaceship and putting your car in space.
And then having the spacecraft come back down with the car safely concealed inside.
Exactly. And like,
what's funny is I know the YouTube video you got this from.
Yeah. Exactly. Just like what led up to him just like launching people into space and like stuff into space and eventually a Mars colony, which is very ambitious, but like he could do it. I believe in him.
Oh yeah.
And he's very hard on himself. Like, you've looked into like his personal life. Doesn't he have like an emo girlfriend and stuff?
I wouldn't know. The most I've looked into is Elon Musk apparently predicts that by 2030, you'll be able to go to an actual airport and buy a ticket to go to Mars. Is what he said.
Just go to LAX and get a ticket to Mars.
I mean, that would be cool.
That'd be the future.
Honestly,
sure.
I'd do it. Like,
well, who wouldn't?
Like, apparently the way it goes is like you pay a couple $1,000s to get shot to Mars for like apparently the Mars trip is like the trip from here to Mars with his new rocket is supposed to get you like in, I don't know, like less than a year apparently.
That's pretty good considering.
I don't know if that's entirely true. Like, I haven't done too much looking into it, but that's just what I've heard. It's supposed to take you there for like maybe a month or two or something, and then you come back. Basically, is
a round trip to Mars.
Yeah.
And think like either like on the way out or on the way back, you could take so many photos of Earth and completely shut down the whole stupid flat Earth theory that people keep bringing up.
Yeah, of course. Well, on flat earthers, of course, if somebody believes the Earth is flat, this is advice I can give to anybody because this is personal advice that I have heard. If somebody believes the Earth is flat, the only real way to convince them that it's not is to say simply this one sentence. Well, let's go find the edge. And then, well,
it's in Antarctica.
It's in yeah, so let's go find it. So we hop on a plane that goes to like, that's the plane flies to one edge of the Earth. Mm-hmm. Let's say that happens to be Antarctica, or so.
That's fun. That's how they like make their maps. Is like Antarctica has like the outer edge, and like it's just a wall of ice, and then just drops off. Have you seen the map?
I've
before?
seen the map.
Yeah.
Yes, it looks. I'm sorry, it looks stupid.
It is stupid.
I can't
It's so stupid.
believe people actually
If you
believe
believe in
this.
flat Earth, your brain is flat.
Yeah, even Logic himself in his Hot Ones interview said, "Oh, the Earth's freaking round. I've literally flown around it. It's round, people.
You're just flying in a circle."
Like, but I think what's best important is like to anybody who does believe the Earth is flat. It's probably because when they're on the ground, of course, if you look from one end of the parking lot to the other end, of course it looks round. I mean, flat. Of course it looks flat. Sorry, that was a bit of a
parking lot
typo.
was thick for a second there.
Yeah, it went like butt thick. But no, of course it looks flat at ground surface. Like there's no denying that it looks flat.
Yeah.
However, if you get up in an airplane, you can see that it clearly stretches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can see the curve and all that.
Yeah.
Or if you like go skydiving, I'm not sure if skydiving's high enough that you'd see it. Maybe.
It depends. Like,
You probably be able to tell that it's not flat.
oh, definitely.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think. Like, would skydiving? I don't know, but anyway, you can. If you're up in an airplane, for those of you who have never been up in an airplane, you can see that the Earth is slightly curved.
Mm-hmm.
It's not flat. Definitely not flat.
Mm-hmm. And if you've been on like really long international flights as well, you can see like the sky, which is blue. But if you look up, like there's not a whole lot of sky anymore, so it looks black. You see space.
Yeah.
And you can see like the curvature of that. So yeah, you can see the Earth
You
is
can
round.
see. You can even like if you're up in an aircraft that high by that point, you can even see this thing we call the ozone.
Yeah.
And even the ozone has this like sort of rounding to it.
Yeah, it drops off after a point.
Yeah, it's not flat. It's definitely not flat because I'm trying to imagine how it would look if it did look flat. I think you would be able to. If the Earth was flat, you would know. You would
For
know.
sure. And there's like the whole like ship thing where like a ship disappears over the horizon. How would you explain that if it was flat, huh?
I don't know. Well, apparently your eyes can't stretch that far.
Your eyes.
You can't see that far away.
It's physically impossible. See that?
Yeah, your eyes don't stretch that far.
You just need bigger eyeballs. So if you were like do whales have big eyeballs? Or they just have big bodies and tiny eyeballs?
It's kind of both.
Yeah?
Yeah, like, well, they got big bodies, and I guess their eyes are small compared to the rest of their body. I'd say they have bigger eyes than us. I think
A whale could see farther. A whale could see the edge of the world, basically.
I don't think a whale can even like see anything outside of water, though.
I mean, like, you put like a fish tank, like, okay, This is gonna sound really stupid, but you know, like how people who can't see not can't see, but are visually impaired, need glasses to see.
Yeah.
So they need like air and then glass and then air to see. Maybe a whale needs like water, glass, and then it could see after that. So if we put like fish tanks on whales' eyes, the whale could see out of water. You know what I'm saying? Like just stick like big bubbles of water with like.
That sounds like too much effort.
Yeah, but then the whale can see.
Maybe. I mean, we just have to build a freaking
Land whale.
A land whale.
Just give it
like how aquabiologists have their swimsuits, right? You know, with the flippers and everything.
Yeah.
We got to build like a suit for a whale to come on land, like a whale land suit.
A whale suit.
Yeah, more like human water suit versus whale land suit.
Yeah, so it'd be like, so you got the whale, you strap it up in spandex, and you give it some like robotic legs or something,
Right.
That'd be terrifying.
That would be... I'm sure at first people would be like, that looks horrifying. But over time, they'd get used to it, so...
It's a big Willy, but like 2020 version. He's got legs.
Yeah. Also, we now have to invent neck vibrators for... do whales even have vocal...
What?
Do whales have vocal cords?
Maybe. I mean, they make noises, I'm sure.
Well, I know they make their little, like...
Yeah.
They make those noises.
But, like, I'm just thinking, like, you mean, like, when, smokers have that box they stick
Yeah,
their
where
neck?
it's like, they go like, yeah, I'm watching you, Wazowski.
Imagine a whale just, like, walks up to your house.
Hello.
Have you heard about the book of, Jehovah? Or whatever, like, knocking on your door.
The power of Christ compels.
This whale comes out. Imagine a whale with a smoke. Oh my gosh, you would totally have a smoker's cough because, like, you know, what smokers have like the hole in your neck.
Yeah. Oh,
whales have the hole already.
Oh no, I didn't think about that.
Whales already have a hole to like speak through.
So if we just vibrate that hole hard enough, we can
we can vibrate the hole hard.
Get a whale to talk that way.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But like, what if it like? Do you think it could talk through its blowhole? Like, that's like a. But like.
Isn't it?
Kind
no.
of.
Has Finding Nemo taught me nothing?
Because like Finding Nemo gets swallowed, and then like shot out the blowhole.
Yeah, they got shot out the blowhole.
And like, if you swallow the fish, it goes out your blowhole. So like, is a whale's blowhole a?
Well, I don't know. Whales don't have like the same intestines as we do? Like,
I guess maybe they have like a branching off.
Nah, like they don't have like their small and large intestines. They don't have stomachs. They don't have pancreases. As far as
They
we
just
know.
have a mouth.
Yeah. Actually, their entire body is kind of like a stomach.
Yeah, kind of like how. Never mind. A cow has two stomachs. Wrong kind of. It's like Kirby. They're giant water Kirby's with buttholes on their forehead. that when they speak would probably sound like a smoker.
Yeah. Or I don't know, maybe those vibrators could be whenever they happen to fart. If whales fart, they go like
freaking seismic waves.
Yeah.
Whales. Oh, whales. Whales a good time.
Oh boy.
That was
how did we go from hot food to whale butts?
You know, I don't know. Do you think whales would prefer their krill hot or cold?
I'd assume, I don't know. I'm not a whale. But I'm guessing the water's cold.
Yeah, but like, are the krill cold? Are the krill like chilling, or are they like warm?
I wouldn't know.
Really mammals. I'm not sure if they're like warm-blooded.
Yeah, I wouldn't know for sure because I'm not a whale myself.
Unlike some people.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I'd assume if a whale is hot, that's just its natural body temperature. I don't think that's doing anything to the ocean, but I'd assume the water's cold. Because every time I go to like the Pacific, the water is always cold. There's nothing I can do about it.
Right.
And not to mention the like Kukanusa and that giant lake in our region.
Moye?
Yeah, something like that. When the glaciers on those mountains melt, it's cold no matter what you do. It is never going to be hot. So the water, I'm assuming, is always cold. and your body has to naturally get used to it. So maybe, because I find myself after a while, depending on the day, my body gets hotter the more I've been in the water, but that's just my body heating up. So it's like I don't even notice the water's even there. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing it might be the same with whales, but you'd have to assume because whales live in the water their entire life. Does that mean it's like how we jump into water, we get instantly cold? When whales jump out of the water, because whales do jump out of the water, do they get instantly hot?
Yeah. Do whales live a life of coldness? As cold-hearted whales?
Or are they actually hot, and then as soon as they hop out of the water, they get cold?
They get wind chill or something.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when you're in the water for a long time and you kind of get used to it and you walk out, you feel cold, like, right away. Right? Because, like, the water kind of, like...
It's chilled over your body. It's like a layer... a straight layer of just coldness shadowing your body.
So, like, if a whale jumps out of the water, it'd probably be cold. But if a whale got, like, beached, it'd be cold for a little bit, then it starts to, like, get really hot. It's a really hot whale.
I don't know.
Maybe. That's when they get all bloated because they're, like, cooking, like, in an oven of beach. That makes any sense.
Yeah.
And then they explode, and then, like, whale guts go flying and, like, hitting people in cars and stuff. Have you seen those videos?
You mean like the ones where they're live leak, or the ones where...
Yeah, like live leak.
Oh, yeah, I've seen a couple of them. I saw one where a guy got thrown like 20 feet in the air.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, good thing there was no blood.
Yeah, I saw one where the guy got like nailed in the forehead with like a big piece of blubber.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that launched him into the ground really quick.
Ugh, I remember one time there was this dude who was like on a dock or something, and like this giant fish, like basically its tail, it was, I don't know if it was a whale or like some other kind of thing, but it's like its tail just like whacked the dude, and he like flew into the water, like he flew up and into the water, and it just, the way he landed, it's like, oh no.
Oh, you're reminding me of something. Have you ever been, what the hell is it called? There's a speedboat and you're strapped to a rope. And you have...
Oh, yeah.
What's that? Like, just tubing, I guess. Or, kneeboarding or water skiing.
Yeah.
Yeah, have you ever done anything like that before?
I personally haven't.
No? Have you've seen people do it though?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. The reason why I haven't done it is because I don't know anybody that owns a boat like that.
Yeah. It's hard to find.
But, actually, I'd say, at very most...
Oh, it's okay, it's just water.
Just water.
Just water.
I don't even know if they can hear that.
I think they might.
Maybe.
We'll see. I have a dampener on, so maybe they can't, but we'll find out in post. Sorry, continue. Tubing.
The most I had ever done, like, in terms of, water skiing, quote unquote, was, you know how they've got, like, the big, floaty things, and you have to, like, hold on to them?
Yeah, okay.
I've done those before, and, luckily I didn't fall off, because it actually, like, flipped me.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, I was still holding on to it. I was like,
freaking Jason Bourne. Yeah, I mean, I've never gone water skiing before, but I have, been kneeboarding. Oh, it was mostly just me, like, lying on the board, because I didn't want to go on my knees, because there's just too much work. And then tubing before. Although my dad went water skiing once when we were in Toronto, and my aunt was driving, and she's a horrible boat driver, and so she like cranks it hard left. My dad goes flying, and he does like a full cartwheel and just eats it into the water. And he didn't come up for a long time, so we thought he was dead. It looked so bad. Just his flailing body, his bald head just like flying through the water. It was just total ragdoll. It was a sight to behold. And my aunt did not give a she just kept going. He's like, how's he doing back there? He's dead! Oh my god, he just wants to die. And she's like, oh, shut the up. Like, let's go back for him. He's there, he's totally just like out of it because like he hit the water hard. Like she was going like full throttle, like full boatness, and took a hard it was bad. It was so bad.
Oh no, man.
And that was in Lake Erie, I think, and it's a really big lake. But where we were, it was only like 5 feet deep. So like, if he had really like dove underwater, he probably would have smacked like every bone in his body against the ground.
Oh,
so yeah,
I'm sure it would have been a very painful sight.
It was. My mom was almost on the verge of tears. My sister and I were just watching like, oh my god.
It's a good thing he's not dead, that's for sure.
Just think of like when you have like a frisbee, and you just strapped a bunch of just like rubber noodles to it, and you just tossed it into the water like as hard as you could, and it's just like spinning. That's what it looked like. It looked horrible. Everything was just yeah, it was bad.
I'm sure at worst it would have just made his body really numb.
Just paralyzed him from the neck down.
Well, because like if you're hitting the water at a certain like I assumed it happened really fast because
it was so fast.
When I'm imagining it in my head from every angle, it was like the trajectory of a car engine if it's like spinning really hard.
Think of like that
turbo
fast.
That's kind of how I imagine it.
It's exactly just what it looked like.
How it would look maybe in regular speed, but like sped up in my mind, where it's just like it's just like machine guns.
That's exactly what it looked like. And we really thought like he can't survive that. Like, that's not survivable. He's dead. He's gone. There's nothing you can't come back from that.
At most, what I'm thinking is it would probably just make his body like his nerves, like his skin nerves, would be in pain.
It's completely numbed.
Yeah, because I've had it where I've hit the water so hard that like when you do a belly flop, the one side of your body is just completely it tingles with pain. For me. Imagine that full body when you hit your back in the water. Like that's the worst pain I can think of. It only lasts like maybe an hour at most. Like you'll still feel it, but it goes away after a bit. Is how I'd say. It doesn't last forever. So for him, I could just imagine he'd probably be in pain for like a little bit.
He was, I think. I remember actually. High dive at Fairmont, I think it was, or maybe it was Penticton. I can't remember, but there was a splash competition basically. So everyone was doing cannonballs. I'm like, splashes. How are they made? By things hitting the water. So more things hitting the water, more splashes. By that logic, if I hit back first, like total flat backed, that would be like the most amount of space that could make a splash, and then I just make a humongous splash. And so I went full send, just back into the water, and my back was tingling for like a good half hour. Not fun.
Probably not.
Yeah, not fun at all. But it made a splash, not a very big splash, because I don't know why, but it didn't. It just me cracking against the water.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, just painful experiences.
Yeah.
What are some of your painful experiences?
Painful experiences?
Yeah.
Painful. Well, breaking my arm, that was definitely painful.
Yeah.
I did that when I was 4, actually. Yeah, I think I was 4.
How'd you break your arm?
I was at the park with my dad, and I don't think my brother was there, but like one of my brother's friends at the time, she was there, and she said like, oh, let's go on these on the playground. And on the playground it had this thing where it was like this little spinny thing.
Oh yeah, I think
yeah, where like I was way too small at the time to even like consider jumping up and grabbing this thing.
Right.
Or like, well, I wasn't too small. My brother's friend was like, here, I'll grab it. So she grabs it because she's proper height, right? And she just spins. She does one spin and then she gets off it. And I'm like thinking to myself, okay, I can do that. So I jump up and I grab onto it, luckily. But then my my left arm swings off. And I spin around, and like my body crushes my left arm against these rocks on the playground ground. So my arm's pretty much broken, and I'm like screaming because I'm like, yeah, it's broken. And so my dad's like, holy crap. So he like throws me in the back of the car. Not physically throws me, like of course he picks me up.
Yeah, he's lobbing like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah. At least my arm was a sack of potatoes by that point.
Right.
He picks me up, puts me in the back because he doesn't know what's broken. He doesn't know
like a limp asparagus.
Right. It was my left arm, yeah. Mm-hmm. And so he puts me in the back and he drives me to the hospital. And then I have to wait like 4 hours to get into the infirmary.
Rip. Or
something like that. And the entire time, my arm, the pain doesn't change. It's broken, like the bone physically shattered a little bit.
Right.
And then, so like as soon as we get in there, they do their x-rays, whatever. They put me in a cast. And pain's not too unbearable once it's in a cast. Like when it's in a cast... It was like the cast was holding my arm, so
right, so it was put in place.
Yeah, exactly. So I wasn't feeling the pain anymore, so I didn't need painkillers, or at least not that I can remember. They didn't give me painkillers.
Right. Yeah, like when I broke my arm, it was up by like the shoulder basically.
Oh yeah.
So I couldn't have a cast. I had like one of those sling things. But I couldn't have like a cast on it or anything. I had to take some medication for it. But I was snowboarding, and you know when like beginners make a big mound of snow when they stop because they like push their skis or their snowboard to the ground and make a big like a lump of snow. So I'm going down last round of the day and was like, well, let's just go straight. We're just gonna total straight on the snowboard all the way down. Hit this little mound. And like a springboard, it just launches me. I do a cartwheel. I hear my arm snap. I'm like, great. Oh, sick. It's broken. It's definitely broken. Dad comes up. He's like, hey, you were going pretty fast. What happened? I'm like, I broke my arm. He's like, bull. Give me your arm. And he picks it up and he's like lifting it above my head. And he's doing stretches and stuff with it. And he's like, see, is that hurting? I'm like, yes, it hurts like a bitch. He's like, okay, well, it's probably just a bruise. Because you're not like screaming right now. I'm like, are you kidding me? It hurts so bad. He's like, nah, just go down the rest of the hill. I'm like, I really don't want to. He's like, just do it. What? So I put my snowboard back on. I go down. My arm is killing me. I sit down. I'm like, I really can't go on another run. He's like, okay, well, I'm going to go on another run. So he goes up. Like 40 minutes later, he's back down. I'm outside. I can't move because like everything, like my back and like if I moved at all, my arm would start to really hurt. And so I just sat outside, freezing, basically. And he comes back, he's like, why don't you go inside? I'm like, I can't move. My arm's broken. Bullshit, just a bruise. He takes me inside, warms me up, gives me some poutine stuff. We go home. And this is the last time we ever ordered. Last and first time, I think, we ever ordered Joey's Only when it was here.
Oh, damn.
And so, like, I always remember Joey's Only as, like, the food I ate while my arm was broken. I'm just sitting at the table. I'm barely using my fork. Like, it hurts so bad. My mom's like, Graydon, take off your shirt. Let me see your arm. I don't think it's a bruise. It's just a bruise. My dad's like, no, it's not a bruise. So she takes my shirt off, and it's swollen like a football on my arm. Oh, no. It was huge. And she's like, you need to take him to the hospital right now. My dad's like, fine, okay, let's get him x-rays or whatever. We go there, take x-rays, we're waiting. I'm dying in pain still. At this point, it's been like 8 hours since I broke it. I'm just sitting there like, oh my God. Guy comes out, he's like, do you want to see this photo? Sure, okay. And it looked like just if a bone was straight, now just cut it in half and then put it next to each other. It was like this.
Oh.
Like a Z almost, but without the middle
no.
part. It was so bad. And so my dad's just like, I feel like a horrible father right now. I'm like, I told you it was broken. You didn't believe me. And look at my arm in the X-ray. Like it's not in one piece anymore. It's like, oh, it was so messed up.
Yeah.
So
So like I assume they manually had to like slide the bone up and back.
Yeah, they had to put it back like where it's supposed to go. And they had a cast on for a long time, and they just said like basically hold your arm like this.
Yeah.
For it to heal. And just lie down a bunch. I'm like, okay. So I lied down, but again, like my back was in a lot, like where my couldn't move muscles in my back because I would pull my shoulder, and that's where it broke, like right below my shoulder on the humerus. My dad would not stop making humorous jokes. I wanted to slap him, but my arm was broken.
Wow.
So I had to lie on the couch. I had to lie on the couch because I couldn't move at all. Do you have any like fun stories from elementary
Fun
school?
stories.
Where's our story?
Oh no. Are you sure you want to tell that?
We can tell it.
I mean, okay. Should I or
Go for it.
Okay. So basically, when we were in elementary school, Gray and I, there was this one day we were playing a game of dodgeball. Mm-hmm. And in this dodgeball, like we didn't have like the actual rubber dodgeballs that like people are familiar with. We played with like these they were like
a foam kind of
foam balls.
Yeah.
And they were all multicolored too. So basically the object is you have to be looking constantly everywhere. You're guaranteed to get hit by one of these balls.
Mm-hmm. This is like a free-for-all dodgeball. Yeah,
free-for-all where you can run pretty much anywhere in the gym, and you can also throw it at anyone.
Yeah.
So it's basically, imagine this. Graydon and I are kind of walking towards each other, but we're looking in different directions.
Yeah.
We're not looking.
You were walking. I was full sprinting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just walking around. I wasn't sure what was happening. I look behind me to make sure no one's behind me.
Yeah. I look behind me to make sure no one's behind me.
And then put two and two together. We collided heads. I think you hit like the back of my head.
I got like the majority of my face buried into your skull.
Basically. You hit just near like the parental lobe. That's what it's called, by the way. So you got your frontal lobe, your parental lobe, your temporal lobe, and your optical lobe. It doesn't matter, but like you hit me in the very back of the parental lobe. With his face, but not only did he hit me with his face in the back of the head, he hit me with his teeth in particular. Yeah.
So from that point, I think I blacked out for like a good, probably like only 5 seconds, really. It wasn't very long, but I came to, and I was on the ground, I was crying, my mouth really, really hurt. And I'm like, okay, this sucks a lot. Like, I've been in pain before, this really sucks. And through the tears, because it's really blurry, I can't really see anything, I see blood dripping down. I'm like, okay, that's not good. And then I see a thing of, like, a white thing hit the floor. I'm like, oh my god, what is that? Did I just lose a tooth? It doesn't look like a tooth. And a few other things fall out. I'm like, oh my god. I just smashed my teeth out. Substitute teacher does not care whatsoever. She's looking at me. She's like, he'll get up, whatever. It was an EA, Mrs. P, I think.
Yeah, Mrs. P.
Yeah, she came in. Oh my god! She sees me. Blood and teeth all over the floor. She comes running to me. She picks me up. She takes me in. I have like all my teeth in my hand, basically. Not my teeth, but like, pieces of my teeth in my hand.
Yeah.
And she goes to the office where they have ice and stuff. And that's what they gave me. They gave me ice. And they took a paper towel and they dried my face off and stuff. That's what they do. They don't know how to do anything else but ice. And so they call my parents. They're like, hey, Gray was just in an accident. at school, he really hurt his face, and some of his teeth are like a little chipped. Okay. Mom comes in, sees the good chunk of my tooth that was missing and the other pieces. That's not a chip. That's my tooth getting cut in half, basically, by the back of your head.
My head, yeah.
And the other pieces that all got shattered. I think it was 5 teeth in total.
It was
4 small ones and then the big one.
Yeah, the big one was the big problem there.
And so I got took to a emergency dental dude who used some UV light and some like funny stuff to put a new tooth on, basically temporarily. The other ones were too small to really fix, so I just had like little chip pieces here and there. But yeah, fond memories.
Very fond memory. You see, the only thing I can really remember after that day was you definitely like trembled to the ground almost, is what I remember.
Oh yeah, I was out of it.
And then instantly they took me into the office. I was like confused. I'm like, they're taking me away. Why are they taking me away? What happened? I want to know what happened to Graydon. I didn't think too much of it at the time because I didn't realize your teeth were basically breaking out of your mouth. Yeah. So they took me to the office and they were just confused as to what happened. They're like, what do you recollect? And I'm like, I don't know. I think Graydon hit me.
You've had this like a headache.
I was confused myself. I was like, what's happening? I was unaware that your mouth was broken.
Yeah.
And so then it was pretty much like end of the day too.
Yeah, it was like the last.
So then my mom took me home and she was like freaking out. She was like, what happened? And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. Because I was very unaware of it. And then apparently later on she had told me that like your mouth was broken or whatever, and I was
my
like,
teeth are out.
That's not good. And then like that's when like she gave me the phone to talk to you. And so I was like, are you doing good now? And you're like, yeah, I mean, I broke like 4 of my teeth or something.
Yeah, because at the time I thought it was 4, but it turned out to be 5 later on. Yeah, and that since then, the tooth that like was like super broken has broken off like a couple other times before after I had it like replaced. But this one doctor, not doctor, he was a dentist.
Oh,
dentist. Like put it on. He's like, it's touching like your teeth. Like when you close your mouth, it hits the ones that are like behind it. I'm like, okay, like just file down the thing you just made, like just like what, the thing that normal people would do, file down that tooth. No freezing on the bottom teeth whatsoever. He's like, I'm gonna file down your teeth. Doesn't even ask if I want that. He just starts going for it. Slap his hand out of the way. It hurt like a like as long for the time that he did do it. I'm like, are you like, just do the tooth that's broken? Like, why are you trying to saw down the other tooth? He gets all pissy and he just storms off. Never got that guy again. We got a new dentist after that because he was giving me attitude before and stuff for freezing. Because I had a bad reaction to freezing. He was getting all pissy. Not a nice guy.
What a professional dickhead.
Yeah, just file down your good teeth. It's so stupid.
It doesn't make any sense.
So stupid.
And meanwhile, doesn't even give you freezer.
No. Like he froze the top part because it was hurting. Because when it's off, it like the nerves exposed and stuff. But the bottom wasn't frozen because why would you need to freeze it? So he just starts filing down my good teeth that aren't frozen. Horrible feeling. Yeah. No. Mm-mm. And then all the teeth that were chipped and broken. I was at the age where like 90% of my teeth were adult teeth. If they weren't like the ones that were going to come in still. So that sucked. It's alright. I don't blame you for it. That happened. It's a fun piece of, I don't know.
Yeah. I wouldn't know because my dental work, like I've always had a good dentist. Mm-hmm. I've never actually had a bad experience at the dentist, and they've taken really good care of my mouth too. They say like I have a fairly healthy mouth. Mm-hmm. My problem is I just don't floss that much. That's my. But
does anybody
problem.
Really? Unless they're like super hygienic.
Yeah,
like I floss like every once
like
in a while.
A major germaphobe, then no.
Yeah,
But for me, I
Throw up real quick.
I have no history of like any oral diseases, so that's what's good about my mouth is like when I got my wisdom teeth out, it was like the proper procedure, but now it just kind of feels like I have cuts in the back of my mouth.
Yeah, one of my teeth, the same dentist who did it, did my wisdom teeth. He did the stitching and all that, but he did it way too tight, and so I can't actually open my mouth by like a centimeter, as much as I used to.
Yeah.
I know that because I was given $5 to put my mouth over a really large cup. I managed to do it, and then I was given $5 to do it again from the same person, and I couldn't do it after I got my molars taken out.
I see.
I was really upset because that was like an easy $5. I had a huge mouth.
Yeah, I can open my mouth probably a decent amount.
I can almost fit my fist in my mouth at the time. I'm not sure if I can do it anymore.
Probably not. It's getting there.
Maybe not quite as wide. I have a wide fist.
Yeah,
but like, definitely like height wise I can get.
Yeah, for the people who can't see what we're doing, we're trying to basically fist our mouths right now.
Yes. It's going swimmingly. Yeah.
I definitely can't get my fist out of my mouth. Oh, it's going in.
Okay, I'm probably going to choke myself
if I
do it, but...
don't do that or else it'll catch on your jaw and your jaw will stick open and it'll be like a
like a
glut
snake
feeling.
Yeah,
just like a tiger. You'll become Tony the Tiger.
Tony the Tiger?
Yeah.
That'd be horrifying. Just like a de-jawed Tony the Tiger, just like
walking around. They're great.
Mouth hanging open. Fisting Tony the Tiger's mouth. He has huge fists. His paws, I guess.
Yeah, his paws are like
big
and bulky.
Yeah.
Bulky thumbs. He's got very bulky thumbs.
That's a good portion to end this segment of Today with Gray. Thanks for watching. This has been great. Do you have anything else to say? I'm just gonna start it like again in the next second because we've been doing this portion for like an hour now.
Yeah. Plug the channel, I guess.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering, you can go on YouTube and look up Slicedmeat. One word, by the way. It's capital SLICEDMEAT. One word.
Mm-hmm. It has a red icon with you in it, I think.
It's a picture of me that the filter's red, and if you go on there, you can watch all my old YouTube videos. I haven't uploaded in like a year and 3 months, and don't expect any uploads from there. It's just if you really want to, you can watch those.
It's like an archive of just
it's an archive of my old filmmaking. Is how I'd put it.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Or
smooch.
Listening, I guess. Smooch.
That's how we're gonna end all these smooch.